Hello, everyone. On the 16th of August, we are going to have a Leo new moon. New moons are always about beginnings, fresh start, initiation. And actually, the Leo new moon is very, very potent because the sun is in its own sign. And of course, you won't be able to see the new moon per se because the sun always eclipses everything it touches. So you will never see the sun-moon marriage, which is a Hieros Gamos, this sacred marriage. In this particular case, you will be able to see the sun, but not the moon. Let's take a look at the chart for London. And I did prepare, as usual, the chart and some highlights for you. So this is the new moon, which is on the Lilith. So it's a very strong feminine new moon despite the Leo energy. There's a fourfold conjunction. Actually, it's going to be exact at 10:38 London time. You can actually calculate the time wherever you are. And as you can see, the sun-moon conjunction is also conjunct dark moon Lilith and black moon Lilith. You may remember 4 days ago at the Chiron Sun trine, we had the Sun-Venus conjunction at the midpoint of dark moon Lilith and black moon Lilith. Dark moon Lilith is the acceptance of the curse, and black moon Lilith is endurance, stamina, and the ability to see things as they are and go back and try to rectify things. So it's a very, very prominent energy pattern, the returning goddess energy. If you are interested in my Lilith videos, you can find at least 4 or 5 of them on my YouTube channel. And by the way, thank you for listening to me. And if you wish to be part of this, please subscribe, and your attention is always very much appreciated. And of course, this is when I said Leo new moon on the Liliths, only 2 of them are conjunct the sun, but the third Lilith is also prominent because it makes a quincunx, an exact quincunx to Saturn, which is opposite trans Pluto. So there's another structure here, which I'm not going to elaborate because it's just a dissolved opposition. But as you can see, all 3 Liliths are prominent. This particular Lilith, the asteroid Lilith, denotes the revolt against injustice. Dark moon is acceptance of the curse, and black moon is the rectification of the whole thing, of the whole energy. So these are the highlights. The North Node is becoming tightly conjunct Eris, not yet, but we are going to look at it when it occurs. There's still the Sedna-Uranus Jupiter midpoint structure, which I didn't highlight because I talked about it at least a zillion times. So is the Astrea-Vesta conjunction, but as we have another harmony triangle here, I'm going to show you as it is. And I did make a mistake last time because I was hoping that Mercury will be conjunct Mars. So Mars, the fighting energy, will get some communication, some sort of negotiation power. The problem is that at the moment, Mercury is slowing down and it's not going to reach Mars because before doing it, it's going to turn retrograde. And yet again, it will be conjunct Pallas Athena soon. But at the moment, it is at least at the midpoint of Mars and Pallas Athena. Their conjunction was there a couple of weeks ago. As I said, the 2 fighting energies, Mars is war and Pallas Athena is defense, and Mercury is at the midpoint at the moment. So yeah, there are some not very heartfelt, half-hearted talks about peace, but nothing is really moving too much. Unfortunately, I don't think that any of the powers that be want a ceasefire or a peace at all. Their intention is to drag this war on. It doesn't really matter how many people die, how many people get mutilated, how the whole future of the Ukraine, the region, is just disappearing. It's horrible. It's disgusting and horrible. And as you can see, the Sun-Venus conjunction is kind of there, but it's separating because Venus is retrograde. So the distance is going to be at least 1 to 1.5 degrees bigger every day, almost 2 degrees actually, because they are separating in 2 ways. So that's the main feature. We have a Libra ascendant, and Ceres is kind of rising, and Chiron is setting, but those are not the main highlights. There's a non-closing platform. The reason I'm going to show it to you because it is linked to the new moon energy. And as you can see, yes, there is this the Sun Uranus square, obviously, and that's the top of the platform. And this platform is just like another platform, any platform that has either misses one leg, or the leg is not really there and you think it is there, and when you step on it is rickety and you can actually even fall off it. And there's still the Mars Aries quincunx, and this quincunx, of course, is denotes the war. It highlights the war, the efforts of the war, and it is actually applying. So it's going. It is going to be exact in a couple of days, but it's already there. That is the base of this non-closing platform. The inner energy are two trines. Still the Sun is now going to be trining Aries very soon in 2-3 days, and Mars, the Mars-Uranus trine, which is an Earth trine, is also there. Mars-Uranus is about free will, how you exercise your free will. So that's an important energy. And of course, the top is a square. The Sun-Uranus square. Nothing is actually happening. Uranus is the anarchist, and Mars, and then the Sun is the ruler, and Mars is the general. So you have all the participants of a war or disruption in this platform, which also is rickety because you may fall off it. Okay, here are the transcendental celestial objects. On the Sun, Moon, and Black Moon, Dark Moon, fourfold conjunction, you have Victoria, victory, Urania, the stars, and Prometheus. Prometheus is a very nasty centaur. He is invited to a wedding where he gets drunk and rapes all, and not just the women, rapes everyone practically, and then he is being killed. Rape, murder, and violence and revenge is linked to it. That is on the Sun-Moon conjunction. So this is a very, to me, although it is in Leo, it's a very, very dark new moon, unfortunately. And with the two feminine energies, it's kind of dissipated, but still there. On Mars, you have Dione, Sisyphus, and Denebola. Denebola is the beta star of Leo. It denotes the instinctual rulership of someone, instinctual sovereignty, when you don't really know how to behave, but you behave in a very instinctual, very unprepared way. And Dione was the first wife of Jupiter or Zeus, when Zeus doesn't yet know that he's a chief god and marries his first love. And it denotes a very young love, young hand fasting, where we don't know the consequences yet. We don't even know who we are, but all we know is I love you and I want to be with you. So that's a Mars. It's a liaison, a kind of sacred liaison, but very immature and kind of idiotic in a way. And Sisyphus is hardship, hard work that doesn't have any true outcome. That's on Mars. So this war is really dragging on. It is draining the resources of everyone, every participant. I don't know why we Europeans need to step into this war. Ukraine is not an EU member, not a NATO member. Why do I have to pay for it? Why do I have to pay for people dying on the front and losing their limbs? If anyone can tell me, because this is not our war and it shouldn't be our war. On Uranus, you have Atropos, the third of the fates, who is cutting the life thread, and Hephaestus, who is the goldsmith of the gods, who is not a very nice character, but whatever he creates is beautiful. So it's the creation energy. And Lempo, who is a Finnish creator god, he was the in pre-Christian times, he was the creator energy of the Finns, and the Väinämöinen story is linked to him. And after the Roman Christian Catholic Church became the ruler, all of a sudden he was turned into a devil, into some sort of Satan. And this occurs many, many times. History is being rewritten all the time. I call it the new past. There's the old past, what occurred, and then when a new power comes to being, it creates a new past. It rewrites the past. That's Lempo, rewritten, the rewriting past. And then Aries, you have Heracles, the hero, of course. There's a complex dissociate planetary picture at the 28 and the 0 degrees of the signs. Actually, it's non-closing. Yes, we do have the cardinal karmic cage with Pluto. It's still there, of course. And all participants are, of course, retrograding. So that's why it is still in energy pattern. It's closing. If you look at Juno, it moved into Leo. So the cardinal square is no longer there. It fell apart energetically. But the Sedna-Juno sextile is very accurate and also energetically tight in Gemini and Leo. And that is dissolving the Pluto-Juno opposition, which actually occurs in quincunx signs, Capricorn and Leo. But the opposition is still there, it's dissolved by Sedna, which is a trine, but it is also a quincunx energy. So here you have two quincunx energies instead of a trine and an opposition, Sedna, Juno, Pluto. And nothing else is really closing. Yes, there is a little engine between Pluto, Neptune, and the South Node. And there is a new aspect with Neptune and the North Node. There is a semi-sextile. It's now closing. It's within 1.5 degrees. But other than that, everything remains the same. The Juno-Neptune trine is barely there, but energetically, that's another quincunx. So here you have a very interesting dissociate planetary picture. Nothing is really what it looks like. In the outside world, nothing will be what it looks like, unfortunately. The only sure thing is the nodal axis, Pluto, cardinal T-square, which is a karmic cage. That's there. That's something you can count on. And maybe the Juno Sedna sextile, which could mean the rearrangement of pacts and liaisons. Maybe we will see. And the transcendental objects are here. It's the same like a couple of days ago. On the North Node, you have Shiva, the Slavonic love goddess, Lachesis, the middle of the fates, who has the most important rule, because she is the one who is creating the fabric of your life. Heracles, the hero, and the Andromeda galaxy, which we talked about a couple of times. It's a dimension portal. On the South Node, you have Narcissus, self-love, Asclepius, healing, Danubia and Scythia, which are two Hungarian archetypes very much linked to it. As I said, we are probably the only people who say what's on our minds. We are not PC at all. And we say what we think and what we stand for. And that is why we are at the moment, the biggest obstacle in the eyes of the powers that be, because we are not woke, we don't accept the gender idiocy, we don't accept the climate hoax, and we are the only ones who say we need peace. Simply because there are in one portion of Ukraine, which used to be Hungary, there are a lot of Hungarian people living, and we care for them. That's why. Okay. On Pluto, you have still the Amicus and Aureus. I didn't even put it in the picture anymore. We spoke about this many, many times. Mitigated punishment, and nothing is ever sacred, and I don't care. And on Sedna, you have Helio, a sun god. Themis, who denotes wisdom and order. More Somnus, who is which is a centaur, that is death. Somnus means sleep. This centaur or TNO was very, very prominent during the COVID. Interestingly enough, one of my student who lives in England just emailed me. She said that there is a new thread, a new virus thread, very prominent in England, because England had a very wet and cold summer. And the new thread is called Aries, which which is brilliant because Aries is drastically altered outward circumstances. I told you they are going to experience with us further. There's going to be new threads. There's going to be new threats. Disregard it. This is such a hoax. And of course the Pleiades still there. I think I said everything, hopefully. And there's also a classic trapeze. Now, this is brilliant because, we do have a harmony triangle, something very similar we had with the Chiron Sun trine, but the Sun is now 4 days later, 4 degrees away, so it's not there. But Venus, retrograde Venus, is making an almost exact trine to Chiron, so the love hurts can be turned into love is a healing potential. And then there's also a Ceres Austria Vesta trine, focus on karma breaking and destiny changing for your own benefit, for your family, for your loved ones, for your nurturing principle. And the top of the trapeze is the Venus Vesta Austria sextile, focus on karma breaking and destiny changing in order to feel good, in order to have harmony in your life. That's what we need to do at the moment. And that's what the new moon, although this is not a very harmonious new moon, a very strong one, but not filled with too much harmony, but still. And here are the transcendental objects. On Chiron, we still have Lucifer, the bringer of light. Yes, we need to understand stuff, and for this we need light. And yes, light needs to be brought by questioning what is in there. So illumination, that's what it means. And yes, if you know what hurts, Chiron, then it is illuminated for you. You can actually heal in a better way. On Venus, there's nothing. On Vesta, you have Gunkumdima, which is a Zulu goddess, a creation goddess. She is the goddess of light and water and plants and animals and agriculture. So it's a true creation goddess. And she is the protector of life. And when you want to protect the environment, stop doing it, because the environment doesn't need protection. It needs cleanliness and cleaning up, but not protection. Life needs to be protected. Creation needs to be protected. And that is what is linked to this particular goddess. And Bellatrix, which is the gamma star of Orion, or Orion, I don't know ever how to pronounce it. We say Orion in Hungarian, so it's either Orion or Orion, the celestial hunter. And this star is linked to potential success through the shadow, when you are not prominent, when you're not putting yourself into the limelight. But it's funny because it is on the top of the this platform, or this trapeze, which is always the stage where you can actually start working prominently. And on Astrea, you have Darius, Tisiphone, and Alkira, the same as 4 days ago. And simply this means what sort of karma to break. Tisiphone is the goddess of revenge. Stop using revenge. It's no use. The best revenge is to live well. I keep saying that. And it's really true. Revenge is a negative energy. It takes up your senses, your common sense, actually, your intentions. It darkens your thoughts. It darkens your ideas. Stop doing it. Concentrate on your riches, Darius, and be grateful for them. And also, whatever you won't be able to operate, Alkira, just disregard it and move on, do something else. So these are the energy patterns of the Leo new moon. Is not altogether a very nice new moon. It's quite militant and quite drastic, but at the same time there are some good potentials as well. It's up to us how we are going to utilize it. Happy new moon, everyone. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.